Good morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, Allincrypto here, and welcome back, guys, to what is going to be another jam-packed daily cryptocurrency market update. As always, if you are new around here and finding yourself on my channel for the first time today, don't forget to check out that subscribe button, because we drop an update just like this one around 1 p.m. UK time every single day to help you guys stay up to date with the latest and greatest things happening within the crypto space, but also the broader markets. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing in this video. The first thing for me to do, I guess, is wish everyone a happy Monday. Hopefully you're all having a brilliant start to your week. Certainly a better start to your week than perhaps MicroStrategy is doing. And that's what we're going to be looking at to start the video off. MicroStrategy's Twitter account was hacked. And ironically, given how not in favor Michael Saylor is in regards to Ethereum and other altcoins or alternative coins to Bitcoin, they were actually posting the new MicroStrategy token as an Ethereum token. Now, this is a total scam. We want to share this to warn people, anybody that may be thinking about it. I think there's already been $440,000 that have fallen victim to this. That's where we're going to be starting. Then we're going to be looking at Bitcoin, where we're at, the kind of roadmap that we have ahead of us. Actually, you're getting a bit of a gift horse right now, and you shouldn't look it in the mouth. In regards to what Bitcoin's doing, altcoins pulling back, likely coming into support that is now formed, having taken that resistance on momentum. This is beautiful price action that we are seeing. We also know that there was a $1.3 billion purchase of Bitcoin, around about 26,000 Bitcoin at 51K that just took place. And this was a non-ETF entity. This is a large amount of money and actually rivals some of the inflows that we've seen in regards to ETFs. And then to wrap the video up, guys, I actually want to take you way back 6 years ago and listen to what Alan Greenspan, who I'm sure many of you are familiar with. He's the guy that kind of created this Goldilocks economy era, actually talking and sharing his views on Bitcoin and comparing it to other historical rises of perhaps fiat competitors and the fiat currencies. Now, we do question the origins of Bitcoin. I'm not a believer in the Satoshi story. I'm sorry, guys. I do think that with all of these kind of miraculous inventions that are given to mankind, usually they're not as miraculous as they seem, and there's usually some sort of a alternative or ulterior intent behind it. And it's very coincidental that Bitcoin's come around at the perfect time when we are reaching velocity in regards to the proliferation of the monetary systems, which Greenspan kind of started really advancing the whole failing of the fiat system. So a really interesting video we've got for you. The first place to start, as promised, is in regards to MicroStrategy. So this is what MicroStrategy actually published, and I'll go ahead and make it so that you can see that. Announcing MSTR, which is supposed to be a token, an Ethereum token fully integrated into our system. What sets us apart? Guys, this is an absolute scam. And a word of warning here, and I know we all have, common sense is not common. I'm going to upset people by saying that, but it's not. You should never expect anything for free, okay? You just shouldn't. And this is an absolute scam. It's a shame. You know, I am not the biggest fan of Michael Saylor. I think his arguments are weak, but I think he's right. The guy's hugely in profits. You know, I can't help but admire that. Even if I do think his chair arguments in regards to why Bitcoin is Bitcoin are somewhat weak. So this is a scam. You can see actually that Zach BTC, who, by the way, I'm going to recommend everyone goes and gives this guy a follow, because he is doing God's work when it comes to the cryptocurrency space. And he's actually shown the address, and he said so far, and this was 11 hours ago, so it's probably gone up since then, 440 million or 440,000, dollars have already been stolen in regards to this compromise. We've seen the SEC get hacked. We saw Algorand Stacy Warden get hacked. You know, it's a real shame. There are scammers, and in an industry such as this, you know, they are rife. Let's talk about Bitcoin and where we're currently at. So you guys know the plan. This is what we're waiting for playing out. And Bitcoin is doing exactly what we want it to. We did say on the smaller time frames, there was a possibility of this squaring up, but this is kind of weak. You're just kind of ranging, and I ultimately don't even know if Bitcoin's going to come back and get the retest of this neckline. But it may do in a similar fashion to what we've shown you Amazon is doing. Break, retest. Remember, we have higher targets for Amazon at $263. Are we going to beat the news following bears on this? We will see. You guys will be the judge, and hopefully we can win some of you over to the side of technical analysis. because we really care about you guys, genuinely. You know, I started this channel up to help people make money like I had in the crypto space and, you know, hopefully open their eyes in regards to the fiat systems and how corrupt they are. I should be a Bitcoin maxi on that front, but I'm not. I think there's a far wider application for distributed ledgers. And ultimately, we want to share those opportunities with you guys on the channel. We're really looking to deepen right now. We're looking into the Internet of Things, IoT. This is the real metaverse and it's coming. And we're going to give you some plays in regards to that. And are you investing in your own demise? Well, maybe. But if it's coming anyway, you might as well make a little bit of money on it. I know there's going to be some angry people. I can already hear the typing away in the comment section, but I am not a perfect human being, nor am I trying to pretend to be one. I'm just, like everyone, I have my own special interests and you know, I'm trying to make it. Some more interesting news before we dive into Greenspan, or in fact, we should really just wrap up our sentiment on Bitcoin. The plan is still very much in play, okay? Don't look this gift horse in the mouth. Don't get too greedy. Don't expect 30K. Don't listen to Capo because he's a bot. Look at what the market's telling you and go with it. This is where we're at. We've shown you Amazon and lots of similar schematics. You may get the retest of the sort of 50K range. Nice big round number. Key level of significance, neckline. But ultimately, that's going to set up for broader continuation until we start seeing invalidation of market structure. This is a very clear uptrend. It's respecting the highs and lows in an uptrend as it should. This is going to lead to continuation, and we think Bitcoin's going to 150K. We've got a whole list of reasons. We could look at crypto stocks that are all pointing in a similar direction. Just to show you one very quickly, if we pull up Bitwise, I do believe we're one of the only channels that look at the markets in these kind of a view, and I actually learned pretty much what I know, or took great influence from a guy called Francis Hunt, who goes by the Market Sniper. You should also all be following. You know, he's the GOAT when it comes to this stuff. A better technical analyzer than I possibly could ever hope to be, but we do our best. This is Bitwise's top 10 crypto index. This has a higher target for us. It's textbook in regards to stage 1. Now in stage 2, this is going higher. That's not going to happen if the cryptocurrency market generally isn't going up. Just like Coinbase and our higher targets for that. So on and so forth. All is well. The dollar pulling back today and Bitcoin actually not doing too well under the light load of it. But we'll see. You know, don't get too greedy on Bitcoin. Get on board the train before it well and truly leaves the station. The next little bit I have to cover with you guys is that a non-ETF entity makes a $1.3 billion Bitcoin purchase, 26.2 thousand Bitcoin at around about 51K. Big figure to be, maybe this is Jeff, Bill and Diamond, maybe. You know, very ironic that Diamond's now offering actively managed Bitcoin funds for his private wealth clients. But that's the game we play. These institutions are, I don't want to say liars, not all of them are. I think the vast majority of people working for them are good people, but they have an overarching agenda that there's a hierarchy that's given down, and we like to spot the hierarchy. We like to question things just like the Bitcoin narrative and kind of derive our opinion on the back end of all that. What I want to do with you now, guys, is actually go over to a clip of ALLIN Greenspan about 6 years ago, who was really in charge of the financial systems for a long time and created this Goldilocks economy, actually talking about Bitcoin and kind of where he's at with it, and to see whether 6 years later he's been right or wrong. And he was one of the first to admit actually that the value of Bitcoin is either, it can't be negative, so it can either be zero or plus, and we've seen things really accelerate since this clip was published. So let's go ahead and play it, and then we'll wrap the video up.
I'm in the process of jointly writing a book about American history, and all I can say to you is Bitcoin looks like the history of fiat money in the United States and elsewhere, going all the way back to 1789. If you look, for example, at how the Continental, which was, you remember, issued in 1775, and a couple of $100 million, and by 1782, it was worthless. But before it was worthless, George Washington was able to buy a lot of armament, basically all sorts of troop costs, and over the period, about a significant share of that worthless, ultimately worthless currency was creating real goods and services. That's what I think is happening with Bitcoin.
So should we conclude that?
I just want to stop the clip there. Remember, this was 6 years ago. So Greenspan makes the continental comparison. You know, it's interesting. We made a video where we questioned the origins of Bitcoin, and we said, actually, we can see similarities with the kind of environment that led to the Federal Reserve Act and what's potentially going to lead to what may be or attempt to become a Bitcoin standard. You know, in 1907, you had the banking crisis. You had the likes of Heinz, Knickerbocker, all these banks that were kind of more privatized. And then as a result of that, and it was engineered by the kind of international banking cartel, the JPs and the various agents of those guys, they then basically they came together at Jekyll Island, they tried to put forward the Aldrich Bill. It got rejected because of the fears of it being involved with Wall Street. And then essentially they said, okay, well, let's just slip it round the other way. You know, they create a good and a bad, and ultimately they control both the good and the bad narrative. And they said, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to create a Federal Reserve System for your benefit. We want to take it away from Wall Street. And they appointed the exact same people that tried to put forward the first bill, and the exact same people that caused the actual crash in the first place. The scare, if you will, the banking scare. Are central bankers just that dumb? Is Bitcoin just that, you know, well-timed, and the mysterious origins of Satoshi are to be questioned? I mean, we keep going down this rabbit hole, but it's because we think it's an important one. Certainly when people think that Bitcoin is going to give them freedom. And the ironic thing about Bitcoin right now is BlackRock's going to become the largest holder of it. So people are saying, oh yeah, we're investing in Bitcoin and we're behind it because it's for the people. Who really benefits if the likes of BlackRock and these institutions are the largest holders of it? The US government is a massive holder of it. DOJ is a massive holder of it. The UK government is a massive holder of Bitcoin. You know, and you see Boris coming out and saying, I want, with a Tucker thing, $1 million worth of Bitcoin. Or gold or US dollars. Why not pounds? You know, why didn't you want that? Let's listen to the next little bit of this, and then we're going to wrap the video up.
No, it depends on how they handle the issue of the cumulative the amount of the quantity that's being put into the market. In the Continental and the Greenback in the Civil War, in all cases, the amount of fiat currency kept rising. And it's very difficult to tell to what extent Bitcoin is fundamentally different from that. But I am saying that there are very considerable similarities, that what's holding the prices up is the supply is down. And look, human beings buy all sorts of things that aren't worth anything, but they do it anyway. I mean, people gamble in casinos when the odds are against them. It has never stopped anybody.
Even though we don't necessarily agree with what Greenspan's saying, you know, he's the guy that's kind of really propelled the situation as far as fiat currencies and the proliferation and the impoverishment of you guys as a result of it. So we can't really be on board with him. But, you know, he brings up some okay points, you know, in regards to actually the whole Bitcoin equation is a supply and demand one. And we know right now with the likes of ETFs and things like that, ETFs alone are buying up more Bitcoin than supply that hits the market. And that's pre-halvening. And this ties in with technically what we're looking at for Bitcoin, where we think it's going. Guys, I don't want to ramble on for too much longer. That's really all I've got for you in this video. If you've enjoyed the update, a like is always appreciated. So as a comment, don't forget to check out my Patreon if you want to become a member and unlock what I hold. On that note, I'm going to love and leave you. Have a wonderful day and a wonderful week, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.